Module 2, we discuss applications of partial differential equations. First, we will discuss one-dimensional wave equation. Let us discuss the derivation of one-dimensional wave equation from a real experiment. Vibrations of a stretched string is represented by the wave equation. Let us listen to this picture. A string is stretched, which is elastic, having length L, is fixed at 2 points capital A and capital B by a constant tension capital T, and T is sufficiently great so that we can neglect the effects of gravity and air friction. Let the string be uniform and have a mass per unit length equal to small m. Let the string be released from rest and allowed to vibrate. Also, the vibrations of the string are transverse, that is, motion of the string is perpendicular to the line of equilibrium of the string. We take x-axis as the line of equilibrium of the string, and the motion takes place entirely in the xy plane. The above figure shows the string in the position APB at time t. We can see the string having the position APB at a given time small t. Here we have the x-axis. Along y-axis we represent the displacement of the string, small x representing the position of the string, and x plus delta x is the new position of the string. Capital T is the tension. Psi is the angle made by the tension with the y-axis, with the line that joins from P to the y-axis. Psi plus delta psi is the angle made by tension with the line that is parallel to the x-axis. Consider the motion of the element PQ of the string between its points at Pxy and Qx plus delta x, y plus delta y, where the tangents make angles psi and psi plus delta y with x-axis. Clearly, the element is moving upwards with the acceleration dou square y by dou t square, because the displacement is represented in the y-axis. Acceleration is the rate of change of velocity, and velocity is the rate of change of displacement. Hence, we can write the acceleration in terms of displacement as second derivative of displacement with respect to time. Since the displacement is represented as y, we write it as dou square y by dou t square. The vertical component of the force acting on element PQ is given by T into sine psi plus delta psi minus T into sine psi. We can take the constant T outside, then the force is given by T into sine psi plus delta psi minus sine psi. For small oscillations, we can write sine psi plus delta psi as tan psi plus delta psi, because cos psi plus delta psi is approximately equal to 1 whenever delta is very small. Also, tan psi plus delta psi represents the slope dou y by dou x at x plus delta x, and sin psi is approximately equal to tan psi, which is equal to dou y by dou x at x. Now equation 1 changes to the vertical component of the force acting on element PQ is given by capital T into the tan psi is replaced by tan psi plus delta psi is replaced by dou y by dou x at x plus delta x, and tan psi is replaced by dou y by dou x at x. Now by Newton's second law of motion, we have force is equal to mass into acceleration. Mass is given by m into delta x, because m is the mass per unit length and the length of the component pq is delta x. Therefore mass of the component pq is m into delta x into acceleration. We have seen acceleration is given by dou square y by dou t square. From equations 2 and 3, the force is given by mass into delta x into dou square y by dou t square is equal to tension capital T into dou y by dou x at x plus delta x minus dou y by dou x at x. We divide throughout by delta x, we get m into dou square y by dou t square is equal to T into dou y by dou x at x plus delta x minus dou y by dou x at x divided by delta x. We again divide throughout by small m, we get dou square y by dou t square is equal to capital T by m into dou y by dou x at x plus delta x minus dou y by dou x at x divided by delta x. We take the limits as q tends to p. When q tends to p, we can see that delta x tends to 0 or x plus delta x tends to x. That means delta x tends to 0. The expression becomes limit delta x tends to 0 dou square y by dou t square left hand side is equal to, on the right t and m are constants, hence they can be taken outside, t by m into limit delta x tends to 0 dou y by dou x at x plus delta x minus dou y by dou x at x divided by delta x. If we take t by m as a constant, say c square, we will get the expression as since there is no x on the left, the limiting value of the left hand side is same as dou square y by dou t square equal to c square into limit delta x tends to 0 dou y by dou x at x plus delta x minus dou y by dou x at x by delta x. And by using the definition of partial derivatives, we will get the term on the right, which is limit delta x tends to 0 dou y by dou x at x plus delta x minus dou y by dou x at x divided by delta x is the second derivative of y with respect to x, or we can write it as dou square y by dou x square. That is, we have dou square y by dou t square is equal to c square into dou square y by dou x square, where the constant c square is given by t by m, where t is the constant tension applied to the string and m is the mass per unit length. This is the partial differential equation which gives the transverse vibrations of the string. That is also called the one-dimensional wave equation.